Hello, me again. Uh, I've got Brenda sitting by me now. She doesn't actually want to say anything. She doesn't know what to say. So I suppose you better just join in a conversation. What a marvellous conversation that was. Absolute dead silence. Don't you think you could say something?
I don't know
Just
what to
something.
say.
Just something. So to your cousins, they're sitting there inside this little piece of brass.
Well,
Two of them. Look, can't you see?
Well, if I could, I'd be very sorry. Judging all that I've heard about Lionel, I'd hope he wasn't sitting inside a piece of brass this size. Anyway.
Well, I understand he's lost a lot of weight. Is that so, Lionel? You know more well, I can't work it out in pounds, but what, 12 and a half stone? How much are you now? You look skinny. You look terrible on your photographs.
On the contrary, I thought the photographs were lovely.
Yes.
I thought Dale looked so pretty on them all.
That's a different story. I didn't say Dale had lost weight. I didn't say she looked terrible. Just Lionel. I know what he looked like before. Big, fat, marvellous, happy.
Were you happy when you were big, fat, and marvellous?
I was too fat. I couldn't breathe.
Oh, well, he's still too fat and he still can't breathe.
Yes.
And what with his cigarettes, he can't talk either, choking
Talk?
every so often.
Listen to me. I'm not choking.
Well, that's only because you've just had lunch and you say it's good for you, but after that he'll probably start choking again.
Perhaps you could address a word or so to Dale, saying what your impressions are of an outsider recently joined the Mad Blanks.
Oh dear.
What does it feel like to suddenly have 40 or 50 new relatives?
Well, I don't know how many relatives, Dale, you've got on your side, but I had quite a large family to start with, and to acquire about 60 new ones was a bit of a shock at first. I must say that I'm gradually getting more attuned to it, and luckily, having such lovely new aunts as Auntie Dinah and Auntie Fanny, I'm more than pleased to belong to the family. I'm also very lucky in that I have immediately acquired two such nice sister-in-laws and two such nice brother-in-laws. I don't know if you know your brother-in-law. Has Dale met Stephen?
She's met Stephen, but I don't think she doesn't really know him. I can't think she does.
Oh.
It's a long time ago. It's way before Lionel was engaged to Dale.
That reminds me, Stephen owes us a visit. He promised to come over this week.
No, he promised, but where is he?
Oh, well, we'll have to try and chase him or something. Send out the police, quick.
Right.
Anyway, it's a good family. It's a nice family. I'm sure you'd enjoy it very much. We hope that you'll pay us a visit and find out for yourself.
Yes, that's something I haven't mentioned. I've gone through about 300 and odd feet of tape, and I haven't said a word about that. But how about it? How about making a trip? You might as well, you know. You haven't been back for years now.
Yes, well, you might find that Lionel is going to ask you exactly the same question as to why you don't go over there. So.
Because if I go there, I meet two people. If he comes here, he meets 202 people. There's a lot of people he knows, not just only the family. There's a lot of friends that he'd still like to meet. I'm sure you'd like to meet Ray again, Lionel. Oh my God, Ray. Well, Ray's the same as usual. He's
a tribe of girlfriends. He's brought one up to be vetted and then threw her over again, and we haven't heard any more since about any different ones.
No.
He's enjoying his life. He's got a new car.
Oh, good Lord, yes. He's got I forget how big the Jaguars go now, but he's got the biggest.
This enormous thing.
3.8 litres.
Well, that reminds me, do you remember when he took us for a ride when we were only engaged? We went along the M1 and I was sick afterwards.
Not surprised. He put his foot down and we were still accelerating when the clock said 125. I don't really know what speed we eventually did get up to. It was a bit of a thrill, that.
It was too much of a thrill for my stomach anyway. What else? We've got to save some tape for Matt and Henrietta and the children, because it would be nice as they're coming over.
Yes. All right, well, perhaps we'll just stop then for a moment. Actually, we've got hundreds of feet of tape still to go, you know.
All right, well, we can use up a little more, there's no problem. What else have you told him?
Well, I told him everything except about Arno.
Mm-hmm.
I think perhaps I'll tell you now. I think, Lang, that your mother has written saying that Arno is dead and that in some way Samuel was responsible. I don't think she told you very much more. Well, as you know, Samuel has been diagnosed some while now as a schizophrenic. And he went into a manic phase about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I can't remember when exactly now. And he took a blunt instrument in the shape of a hammer and he did away with Arno. He went then to a police station and gave himself up. And he is now in the hospital ward of Brixton Prison awaiting trial for murder. He will be coming up to the Old Bailey, but it'll be a formality and he will go away. And I'm afraid that that is the end of the Samuel story. Unhappy. A solution, though, that I think was really inevitable. Right, so now you're in the picture completely. Arno, he couldn't have suffered for one moment, not one scrap. Dinah, she suffered plenty, but she's borne it remarkably well. She's had a pillar of strength by her in the shape of Zena, who has rallied remarkably to cope with this, and so they're not too bad.
Besides which, she's devoting all her mind and her heart and her time to Samuel now.
To Samuel, yes. You see, until he's sentenced, he's as if he was just a guest at the prison. He can have visitors every day, he can have food brought to him, so Dinah is busily cooking for him and taking his meals to him.
Yes,
every day. She's up at the prison with meals.
And his newspapers.
And his newspapers, and his cigarettes, and his clean shirts, and his ties, and he's never had it so good, in the words of our Prime Minister. Well, it's no joke, but we're used to the idea now. I can't really say we expected just this, but we did expect some big flare-up, which would end in him doing something, an injury to somebody and being put away. Well, it's come, and it's come, and it had to be Arno. Brenda says we ought to end up with something a little bit happier before Henrietta, Matt and the children get here. Well, I'll tell you something happy. This is marvellous. Did you know that Brenda's actually put a little bit of weight on?
I don't know if you have the same trouble, Dale, but I sincerely hope someone else sympathises with me. It's half a stone, and I think that's good enough, don't you, in the 7 months we've been married?
£7, £1 a month. Not
Oh,
bad.
that's jolly good
Not
game.
bad. All right, okay.
Mind you, they don't know. Have you sent them the photographs yet of the wedding?
You had to say a thing like that.
Yes,
No,
I
I
did.
haven't.
Well, you're a lazy so-and-so.
They shall go.
Well,
They
you've
shall
been
go.
saying they shall go for months.
Yep, well, they will go.
Well, when?
No. We haven't had them for months.
We've had them for about 2 months.
As long as that.
Yes, as long as that.
Oh, well, it doesn't seem like that. But during these last 2 months, remember, we've had everything with the practice and... Oh,
That's
no,
true,
there's been a whole lot of things anyway.
It's true, but now you must...
Nevertheless, they will go with this tape.
Oh, well, there you are. That's obviously achieved something.
They may even go before, who knows?
Good gracious.
Can't tell.
Um,
It's taken me 27 feet of tape to say it anyway.
I hear you're very busy with the social life, Dale, and that you do a lot for charitable organisations and other social welfare work. Do you like that sort of thing particularly? And you don't work, I gather, as you have the time to do all these things.
You'd like to not work and do all these things, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't. I like working. I should be sorry to give it up.
Well, your work is very, very similar anyway, in so much as that Brenda actually works for a charitable organisation.
One that's very prominent in
Very
Canada.
prominent. In Canada?
Yes, it's known as Sweetser Hadassah in Canada.
Oh.
which is the sisterhood. Well, it's the same organisation, identical organisation. In fact, you've been to see a Canadian project.
Oh yes, in Israel we went to the child village called the
Hadassim.
Hadassim
Children's Village.
Children's Village. Very interesting, very, very nice place.
Well, that's a project of Canadian Hadassah, which is
Oh, I see, yes.
It's the same thing entirely. So we know a little bit about all that. Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a shame that you can't see.
Well, perhaps Dale has something to do with it.
Possibly it may
Do
well
you have
be.
anything to do with Hadassim?
Hadassah.
Hadassah? I don't know which.
It's a shame you can't see our movie film of Israel. We're really rather proud of it. It's come out so well, and as a first attempt of both of us to photography and movie photography, it's not bad effort at all.
No. Well, incidentally, we are using up a bit of tape, so I think I'll just stop for a moment and wait for Henrietta.
Hello Dale, hello Lionel. We know a lot about you. We see all your photos, they're beautiful actually. And
Go on,
Auntie
Henrietta.
Fanny
Why
keep-
don't you tell them who you are?
oh, well, you know who I am. You know, didn't I say I'm Henrietta Colman introduced us before, didn't you?
Well, yes, in a sort of a way.
Anyway, Matt is camera shy right now. Well, he would be if there was a camera here. But he says, you talk for me, you know, I don't do this thing so good, or whatever it is. And Peter, he whispers, honestly, what a family.
Talk for there.
I am talking, what do you think? What should I say? I
You're
can't.
talking this way.
Well, all right, I'll talk into the microphone, and if I talk into the microphone, what should I say? Frere Jacques, why? All right, well, you sing it, because I've forgotten it completely.
Yeah.
All right, now, sing it then, lovey.
Yes.
Right. Well, will you sing it with me?
Yes.
Right. Frere yes.
Ding dong dang, ding dong dang.
Oh, jolly good, I'd forgotten it myself. Oh, do you remember if I had a donkey? If I had a... he wouldn't... The way Great Zeta does it. Would I feed him? No, no, no. I'd put him in a stable. I give him some... What do you give him?
Luncheon pudding.
Of course. No, what else? The best little monkey that ever was born. Anyway, that's a family joke.
Let's sing,
Oh, let's not sing.
yes.
What is Bruce's name? Your brother Bruce. What's he
Talk,
called?
talk through here.
All right, I am talking. What is your brother Bruce's name?
Lucy Nolan.
What is your name?
Peter Lovin.
Where do you live?
And Six Fish Low. And you talk through there, and I will too.
All right, well, I am doing, yes. Can you hear Bruce crying over there?
Yes.
Well, it's very late in the evening now, Dale and Lionel, and we're just about ready to go home. The kids are not in their best performing, whatever it is.
And I will. And you talk through.
Hello again, Colman again. Well, oh boy, peace and quiet at last. Henrietta and Matt and the children have now gone home. That last piece of tape, well, it's a bit of fun anyway. You won't get much sense out of it, but whatever the little bit there is something to hear. Brenda and I are now left in the silence of the flat again, and we hope that there'll be no visits this evening, and I shall have a nice, easy evening in. But having said that, I'm just sure now a visit will come. Well, you know that.
Cake left now. You'll have to go and buy me some more cake.
I don't mean a visitor, I mean a visit.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes,
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering now how to finish the tape, what to say.
Well, let's express the hope that that they have a tape recorder and will be able to send us back an answering tape.
Oh yes, I mean, I'm sure somehow or other you're going to find out. You're going to listen to this thing, even if you haven't got a tape recorder of your own. I hope you'll borrow one just to listen to it. And I hope you can borrow it long enough to make a return tape to us as we can hear you. The only one thing is I'm dreading hearing you, Lionel, if you with an American accent.
Canadian accent.
Canadian accent, same thing.
No, it's not.
I only hope that it comes over a little, not very pronounced over the tape. What else now? Tape's starting to run out, not too much yet left.
It's hard to know how to finish, isn't it? You never know quite how to stop when you've started something like this, and it's awfully difficult when you can't hear people's or see people's reactions at the other end. But nevertheless, I'm sure if they do send us back a tape, it's going to be so perfect we shall feel quite ashamed of our own effort. However, we did try.
Yes. What shall we say now?
Well, I think...
Have we got any news? Have we done anything exciting just recently that perhaps...
We went to see that wonderful film.
Oh yes, we went to see West Side Story. That was absolutely a wonderful film.
And marvellous, we did enjoy it very much. And what else? Oh, we went out to Chislehurst Caves, do you remember? That was a nice day.
That was a nice drive out with Matt and Henriette and the children.
Except that Bruce didn't like the caves very much and cried most of the time, which
Well,
was pretty horrid.
That isn't surprising.
No, we didn't know. And what else? We haven't done very much else.
Well, we've got about enough time now, I think, to say goodbye.
You
the
can't
tape's
say
getting-
goodbye.
No.
It's
We
getting
can't just
late.
watch the tape go round, although I've got to keep an eye on it until I see the end coming.
It's difficult when you get to this point of the recording.
Because we're not quite sure how much.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was very interesting. I found it interesting. It was nice to hear how the family was doing back in 1962, 2 years before I was born. So a long time ago, so almost, 60 years ago. So I hope everybody enjoyed that.